This guy is one of my favorite people that I've ever met. Very few people that I've ever covered, I'd say, is a true friend. I think I could call this guy up, and if I needed help, he would certainly give it to me. He's just that sort of guy, and I like him a lot. Maybe I'm screwed up in the head, but Darryl Strawberry.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Straw!
I kind of like you too, Mike.
Yeah, all right. So
we had some good old days over there.
A little bromance going on.
Yeah. A little romance.
So what's going on with you now? You have the book out, which is great, and
right.
Everybody should buy it out there, and Darryl will sign it, but what's going on with your life? Tell us what you're doing right now.
Well, things are great. You know, I am tremendously blessed to, you know, sit here today and, you know, just talk about me. You know, and I really talked about me in the book more than anything. I talked about the real me. I didn't talk about baseball and what baseball was all about. That was a great part of my life. But there were parts and pieces that was missed that I think New York fans really ever got a chance to know who I really was and what I really felt. And, you know, growing up as, you know, in Southern California, my dad was a raging alcoholic, and he beat the living crap out of me when I was a kid, and he told me I would never amount to nothing, never be nothing, never had a relationship with him. And I went on and channeled all of my energy into sports. And I was able to do that. I was able to do that well because I wanted to prove to him that I was going to be something. And I was able to go on and do that and be successful at it. But, you know, my book, it just tells you about who I really am, you know, more than anything. You know, I'm not trying to get people to buy it because it's selling good anyway. So, you know, I thank God for that. But I really tried, you know, I wanted people to know who I really was, and, you know, all the pain and the frustration and the scars and, you know, the discomforts I had about myself and the disbelief I had about even being successful and putting on a uniform. And I realized that didn't make me a man. I realized everything that I had to experience in life and go through, the trials and tribulations allowed me to grow up and become a real man. And I'm grateful for that. I truly am. You know, I had cancer twice. I've been through addiction. I went to prison because of addiction. And it was a real struggle in my life. But I wanted to write this book to give hope, inspiration to others. You know, I don't want people to ever quit because, see, I didn't quit. See, and that's the name of the game of life. You know, we think, you know, I always used to think that life was so great because I was successful and making millions of dollars and playing baseball. You know what? I realized that don't really make me a real man. You know, I had to come to grips with that. That wasn't being a real man. You know, I had 2 wives. I hurt people, hurt my children. You know, and most men, that's what we do. And that's what I talk about in my book. We don't want to be honest with ourselves, but I was able to get honest with myself because I wanted to share the real me and my real life about who I really am and what I really experienced and all the pain and the pitfalls and the people I hurt and the wives I hurt and, you know, just all the things that I was doing because of being a selfish person. You know, ego. You know, men are driven with ego. Our egos will tell us we're great. You know, what is being great? You know, I had to come to the point of being broken and being stripped. And I'm truly grateful that God stripped me because he gave me life. And I got, you know, I could truly walk today with freedom and a free understanding about my life and who I am and my purpose and my goals. So I'm real busy with, you know, I work for the Mets, of course, and I do telecast for SNY, pregame, postgame. Of course, I have to be at the stadium tonight. They're playing the Yankees, so that should be pretty exciting. But also, I have a foundation for children with autism. Me and my wife, I've been with Tracy, married her, and we've been together for like 7 years, but we've been married going on to our 3rd year. And we live in Missouri. Can you imagine me living in Missouri?
It's hard. It's hard for me to grasp. L.A., New York, Missouri. Try right in the middle then.
I was shocked.
How is Missouri? It's kind of hot.
It's, you know, I was shocked. You know, she had mentioned, because we were living in Florida, and she had mentioned about Missouri. I goes, are you kidding me? I'm not going to Missouri. I goes, they hate me there. I would play for the Mets, you know. And
right.
It was that Met Cardinal thing. And you know, we're a bunch of pond scums. That's what they believe we were, you know. And I went to visit there one time. Went to visit a family over a holiday season, and we went to a church. And I liked the church, but you know what really got to me? What I really liked more than anything, when I drove through her family neighborhood, the neighbors waved at me. I goes, oh my God! I had never seen this in my life. I definitely don't see it in New York City. If you ride on the street, or LA, or Florida, you don't see this. But
well, they do something with their hand, but it's not waving.
Yeah, they do, right? That's of course, like Florida too. They love to flip you off, right?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and say it, Mike. You know, they flip you and give you the bird.
Absolutely.
But the neighbors, you know, as you drive down the street, the neighbors wave at you, and I was like, this is it. This is it. I belong, you know, because I remember Jeffrey Leonard played for the Giants. He called it a cow patch. You know, St. Louis country, you know, country folk. But it's a beautiful place for me. It's a place of serene and peace, and we're able to enjoy our life, you know, and that's what's important.
Now, you mentioned tonight is the second tour of the Subway Series. Now, you're one of the few players that played for the Yankees and the Mets, and you won championships with the Yankees and the Mets. Now, I once asked David Cohn, what's the difference? And he said, it was more fun playing for the Mets, but it was more fulfilling playing for the Yankees. It was more professional. Tell me, is that true?
He said it was more fun playing for the Mets?
He said, yeah, that was fun. He said the Yankees, it was, you know. Did you have fun with the Mets?
I had fun. I had fun. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I didn't. I had tremendous fun.
Too much?
Too much fun. David Cole was one of my boys. I remember this night. Can I tell a story?
Sure. Go ahead.
I remember this night, me and David Cone went out in the city, and you know, when we came out of the club, it was like the sun was up. It was like 8 o'clock, and we got a day game. And we go back to this apartment, crash for a few minutes on the couch, head out to Shea, and get to the park. You know, I had to do my thing. Had to get into coffee. Had to get into greenies. You know,
can't do greenies anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm just, you know, I'll tell it like it is. I told her, that's what I tell in my book. You know, I get into the coffee, get into the greenies, and had no sleep, you know, and drinking all night, partying with Coney. I get up first at bat, I hit a bullet in the gap. I'm running the bases, sliding to third. My head is throbbing. You know, I mean, boom, 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 boom. Coney's sitting over there in the corner of the dugout with his hat down, looking at me going. Then after I come in and score the run, I come down to the end, give him some skin. He goes, I don't know how you do it. You know, because he's a pitcher, so he didn't have to worry about, because he the only one knew that me and him had, when we walked out of that club in New York and the sun was up, I was like, oh my God, we got to play a day game today. Coney knew he wasn't playing. So he just kind of looked at me like, that's on you.
Now, here's what I don't understand, because Billy Martin once told me, I mean, you stayed out till 8 in the morning. Billy Martin said, if you can't get it done by 2 a.m., it can't be done.
I don't know what Billy's theory was about that. I guess me and Coney was just having a great time. You know, I don't think it was about getting it done. You know, I think it was about the time that we was in the city. We just wanted to have a great time, but we didn't realize that we were going to be out that late. You know, we thought, but it's
time flew.
But you know, when you think about it, you're talking about the Mets. You're talking about Darryl Strawberry and David Cone.
Right.
You know, so and Coney was one of the wild ones of the bunch too. You know, we had a lot of fun. And
how different was it with the Yankees though? Because it wasn't like that. I mean, I was there when you were with the Yankees, and I'm sure you guys had a good time. You won championships, which is the best type of fun, but it wasn't wild like that. And I think that you served as a good sounding board for Jeter, as if, don't do this, because I've done it.
Oh, yeah, no question. I mean, I told Jeter, I set him down in '95 when me and him was on the Yankees team, and Buck Showalter was the manager. And he didn't play neither one of us, you know, through that run in playoffs, and you know, Jeter was a little bit concerned, and I said, Derek, let me tell you something. I said, you're going to be a star in this town. I said, make the right choices, right decisions. I mean, he kind of looked at me like, how do you know this? I says, I've been there, trust me. I said, this town is going to love you. You know, I says, you're a great player, because I got a chance to see him play down in AAA. And I says, the way you play and what you're going to bring, this is going to be your town. And I just said, take care of yourself, you know, be around the right people, and don't make the bad choices in your life, and don't put yourself in the headlines and the press and everything. Plus, I said, you got another thing going for yourself. You're damn good looking. You know, and that's coming from a man. You know, I ain't jealous. You know, that brother just look good.
It's worked out okay for him.
It's worked out. I mean, he's done well. I'm so proud of Jeep, man. He's handled this whole situation well. He's been extremely professional. If parents, you sit out there today and you have kids, if you ever want your kid to play the game the right way and do things the right way, Derek Jeter is the guy. He's not going to be what everybody else want him to be, you know, as far as they talk about home run hitters and guys driving in a lot of runs. But he's going to bring great character to your team. He's going to bring leadership. And one thing about Derek that I've always loved in his career, a lot of guys have said something about him, the media says something about him. He has never said one bad word about anybody. Now, if that was me, ask Mike Lupica. He know what I told him. But I'm just saying, I was in a different era, but I'm just saying, I'm so proud of Derek because he's been able to do that over his whole career. You know, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. You know, they don't understand that. I always told my boys, I says, if you ever play baseball, I want you to be like Derek Jeter. You know, he's an example of what a baseball player is supposed to be. You know, he's an example of what a person is supposed to be. You know, he's got class. He's just a tremendous person. You know, I have nothing but the most respect for what he has accomplished in his career. You know, he's not, well, of course, he's not going to be in the home run numbers, but look at how consistent he's been throughout his whole career. You've never seen him in trouble. Of course, George might have got on him a couple times, but you've never seen him in headlines. You've never seen him running around with Madonna. No, just kidding.
I'm not running around with her.
I know. No, I'm just messing. But
now you played on the '98 Yankees, and they ended up going 125 and 50. When you add up, sorry Don, when you add up the championship, he doesn't like when I add 125. He said they won 114, which is true. But the final record was 125 and 50. Was that the best team that you've ever seen?
No.
What was better?
86 Mets.
Really?
That's the best team I've ever played on. You know, that Yankee team was awesome, no question about it. People always ask me, well, what do you think? Would that Yankee team ever beat that Met team? I says, no way. They would never beat that Met team. You know, because they would have to fight us. You know, because that's what we were all about. We were tough. We were hardcore. You know, but you know one thing about the '86 team is we stuck together. You know, we might have got into some altercations in the clubhouse and bickering, but when it came down between the lines, it was on. Nobody was gonna, you know, step on our territory. It was so great because this is what we used to think. You know, I was asking these guys, well, why don't they think like this anymore? You know, I says, when teams came into Shea Stadium, you'd be lucky to go out. If you got a 3-game set, 4-game set, you'd be lucky to get one. We might give you one, you know, because it was no giveaways. You know, it was hard to come into Shea and beat us. It was hard. You know, I remember teams came in and thought they could bully us around and stuff like that. We didn't play. We didn't believe in that. Yankee team was great. You know, the greatest player I ever played with was Keith Hernandez. Keith. It's the greatest player I ever played with.
Really?
This guy has the most incredible baseball knowledge than anybody I ever seen. I mean, first of all, couldn't nobody play first base like him. There wasn't a better clutch hitter in the situations when the game was on the line like him. And he taught me about left-hand pitching. He taught me how to hit left-hand pitching. You know, he taught me about a soft throw or left-hand pitch. He told me you move up in the box so you can catch the soft stuff up. If you got a guy throwing a little bit hard, you move back in the box and let the ball get a little deeper on you, and you could drive it. I hit 20 home runs off the left-handers one year because of what he taught me. You know, and he taught me how to cheat too. So that was pretty good. You know.
How do you cheat? Tell me how you cheat.
Well, it's simple. You know, if you're standing at the plate and you can feel the catcher move. You know?
Everybody tells me they can't. You could feel the catcher move behind you?
Of course. I mean, some guys peek, you know, but I never had to peek because, you know, if the catcher moves in, that's a fastball in. If he moves out, that's a fastball away. If he sits center, that's off speed. But guys don't know that. See, we knew that kind of stuff.
And you could sense the catcher moving behind you.
Oh yeah, you could feel him. You could feel him moving, and sometimes they, you know, of course they peek up and look and see if you're peeking. I'm not concerned about you peeking. I'm going about the field. If I can feel you moving in, I know you coming fastball in. I'm sitting dead red in, because there's no way you could throw a breaking ball in.
Right.
You know. So we learned. I mean, I learned all those things. I learned all this from Keith. You know, he taught me that. He knew the inside out of the game. I think he was a student of the game. He had the knowledge of the game, and he was able to, you know, give that to us. That's the guy that really made us go. He made us become what we were in those 80s because of the way he played the game, the way he understood the game. I could be at the plate and Keith's on second base, and he's coaching me from second, you know, on second base and scoring position. I'm facing left-hand pitcher. He going to keep that shoulder in. He's on second base telling me keep the shoulder in.
Are you surprised he didn't become a manager?
No, I don't think he has. I don't think he has the patience for that.
Right.
Keith is Keith. He doesn't have the patience to become a manager. I don't think he would tolerate some of the stuff that goes on in the game today.
Now one of the things that Darryl gave to the Yankees back in 90s, 96 and 98, he was almost like the enforcer. I don't know if people remember, but we chased Armando Benitez around Yankee Stadium, and he chased Roger Clemens actually up the runway when they protected him from you. But I remember I don't even know if you remember this. I was on a flight with you, and it was right after the Yankees had played the Red Sox in that playoff series, and Pedro knocked down Don Zimmer. And Darryl turned to me and said, "You know what? It's not the same there anymore." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because there's nobody that went after him." What would you have done if you were on that team?
I'd have killed Pedro. Well, you know, I say that because of the fact it's so important for you to understand when you put on a uniform and you play in New York City, you represent something. I think a lot of times guys don't understand that. You know, they don't understand coming to New York to play. They want to play here. You know, they say, well, I want to play in New York. I want to play in New York. Well, if you want to play in New York, you better understand what New York is all about. You better understand the fans. You better understand the media. You better understand what you're going to have to go through. You can't go and hide if you want to come here and play. You know, and I think that's what happens to a lot of guys. You know, they look at the money, you know, because of the teams and the market. They're going to make that, but they don't understand the pressure of playing here. They don't understand being criticized. What is it to be criticized? I didn't care. I didn't care if they booed me at Shea, which they did a lot. You know, because they had the reason to boo me because I was sucking. You know, I just say it like it is. But you know, I always had that theory. You know, of representing New York, putting on a New York uniform. You know, it meant a lot to me to wear a Yankee uniform. It meant a lot to me to wear a Met uniform because it was New York. And I love the fans. I love the affection of the fans. I love what the fans mean here. I love it when they get crazy and tell you come over the dugout and yell at you like, you suck. You know? Don't you know what's wrong with you? You suck. And I used to look at them and I'd say to myself, oh, this is great. You know? You know, I personally, I had fun when they thought I sucked, because I said, okay, well, all right, next couple of bats, I'm gonna hit 2 off the scoreboard. I ain't coming out for no curtain calls. I'm gonna play a little game with you here. And I used to play a good game with them, and it was a lot of fun to be able to play that, because I think New York fans realize when you're not afraid of the challenge, you'll stand up to it and you'll deal with it.
Yankee fans never booed you, not once. Not once. So you didn't suck.
No, Yankee fans never booed me, not once. I mean, I always, I have nothing but praise and admiration for Joe Torre, who was my manager and allowed me to be a part of the Yankee teams, and just what he meant to all of us. As you can see, he's dearly missed here. And a lot of times people go say, "Let him go, let him go." I says, they're gonna realize what they have. They're gonna realize what Joe Torre was after he's gone. And to be able to play, to be able to play in the Bronx, the guys I played with, Bernie, Tino, Brosh, Jeet, O'Neal. We had some great guys, man. We really did. And our theory was there when I played over there with the Yankees was we didn't care who got it done on any given night. That was the theory. Joe used to say, it doesn't matter who gets it done. Let's just get it done. And that's how we were able to be so successful over there and have them runs that we had over there.
The book is called Straw, Finding My Way. Now, where's Ryan? Is Ryan still here, my producer? Didn't I tell you had a good idol growing up? So if you didn't know Darryl Strawberry, I hope you got a chance to know him today. He really is a great person. The book is out there if you want to buy it, and I'm sure that Darryl will sign it. Straw, Finding My Way. Great to see you, buddy.
Always great to see you. I love that pink tie. Pink. Are you getting a little...
You know what? It takes a real man to pull off pink.
I wear pink too. I like that, Mike.
Yeah,
you look good in pink.
Thank you.
You look hot. Can I just kiss you?
No. He's rocking Rockaware, and he's ripping me. Anyway, he's going to be on SNY tonight, right?
Yeah, I got to do the pregame from the stadium.
So I guess you could watch SNY for the pregame, then turn to Yes for the game. No, we're on My 9 today.
No, we're at Citi Field tonight.
We're still there. We're still doing the game.
So what? You just there. You're visitors.
Didn't you win 3 rings with the Yanks and 1 with the Mets?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No more.
But I'm homegrown. I'm a homegrown man. I came through the organization, minor leagues.
Right. Number 1 pick.
Number 1 pick.
Number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darryl Strawberry.
All right. Thank you, guys.